So in the last lecture, what we did? Yes.
Just one question was left.
Is the diagram done?
Yes, ma'am. Last question.
Last question. It was given as exercise or we have to do right now? I think
Yes,
I
ma'am.
asked you to do that, right? Okay, anyway, this poset is given. For this poset, uh, on this one, divisibility relation is defined, and we know that divisibility become partial order because this is antisymmetric, right? Clear? So find the maximal element, minimal element, greatest, least, upper bound, lower bound, least upper bound, greatest lower bound. So first tell me definition of all these elements. Maximum, maximal, minimal, maximum, minimum, that is greatest, least, upper bound, lower bound, least upper bound, and greatest lower bound. Tell me definition.
Maximal are the elements above which no other element is there, and minimal is the element below which no other element is there. And in greatest,
In the partial order sense, that we can say that there does not exist any element B in S, the set S on which this partial order is defined, this relation is defined, such that A is related to that element, right?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, this one. Okay, then A is known as maximal. And if there is no such element such that you have B is related to A, then A is known as minimal. Clear? This is your maximal. What about greatest and least? Greatest.
They are the single maximal.
Single, unique maximal. But what is the definition? Tell me the exact definition of greatest and least.
Ma'am, which is a maximal and all the elements of poset relate to that element.
Yes, so A will be maximal, maximum or greatest if all element of S are related to that, right? Okay, then A is maximum, greatest. So here A will be greatest. And A will be minimal if A is related to all element, right? A is related to all element of S. Clear? Yes. This will be
Yes, ma'am.
greatest, this will be least. This element A. Yeah, what about upper bound of any subset of A? If A is the subset of S, then we can talk about the upper bounds and lower bounds of A in S, and also least upper bound and greatest lower bound we can find. Tell me the definition of lower bound. Yes, definition of lower bound of A. Yes. Anyone? Lower bound of A. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me lower bound of A. Hmm?
Ma'am, it is the element in A which comes under S, and it is the lowest.
Element of L will be
A
the
that
lower
comes under
bound.
S.
Element lower bound. Any element from S will be become lower bound if it satisfy what? Yes. This L will be lower bound if yes. Now tell me all element of L is related to all element of A. Okay. This may present in A or may not be present in A. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
If A is sorry, L is related to A or all A belongs to A. So that is the definition of lower bound. What about upper bound? U for upper bound. U belongs to S become upper bound if yes, tell me. If yes,
U is greater or equal to A.
all A are related to. This is not greater than equal to or something. This is relation, partial order. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That.
This may be greater than equal to this may be divisible. A is related to U for all A. All element of A are related to U. Then this is your upper bound of A. Okay. Now what about greatest lower bound of A and least upper bound of A? Yes.
The greater one among the lower bound elements is called a greatest lower bound.
First it should be lower bound, right? First it should be
Yes,
lower
ma'am.
bound plus all other lower bound. It should be means all other lower bounds should be related to this one. Okay, if X is any other upper bound, that should be relating to this L. Okay, greatest of all these. And what about upper bound? Least upper bound? It should be first upper bound, and then this should be related to all other upper bounds. Okay, if X is any other upper bound, then this U should be at below level or equal to level this one, right? Okay, everyone understood all these 4 definitions? 8 definitions actually. Yes. Okay, so first find the maximal element of this one. So first you can easily find all of these by using Hayes diagram. You first draw the Hayes diagram for this coset and then you can find easily. So what will be the Hayes diagram? Coset is 3, 5, 9, 15, 24, 45. And the relation is divisibility. This relation is what? A comma B present in the relation. These are related if your A divides B, right? This is your divisibility relation, partial order. Okay. Now, if A divides B, means A comma B present in the relation. So A will be at lower level or upper level?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. It's not happen. There is network, no network problem. Check your connection. What about others? Others are feeling this. My voice is breaking. Are you getting the same problem?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Little bit.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So whoever having this problem, so just check your connections. Yes, you have A to B. Which is A, which is B? If A is related to B, A
Lower
divides
one
B.
is B and upper one is B.
Lower one is B.
Lower one is A.
Lower one is A, yes. Means there is an arrow pointing towards B, right? Yes. Now tell me the Hayes diagram for this one. Yes,
3 and 5 will be at base and adjacent to each other.
adjacent to each other. Why? There is no 3 does not divide 5 or 5 does not divide 3. Then how can you adjacent? Say adjacent. Adjacent means if they are related by in graph theory, we just say adjacent if they are joined by an edge. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
they will be at same level, not related.
Yes, ma'am.
What about 9?
Above 3.
So 9 over here, this is related, right? 5. 5 is not related to 9. What about 15? 15 we
Above
can
5
draw one
related
point.
to 5 and 3.
This is related to 3 as well as 5. 24
Related to 3.
related to 3 only, right? So we can draw over here or here. 24. Yes, 45.
Above 15.
45. 45 is
Related to
from
15 and 3.
15, 3, 5, 9. Right? But with 3,
Yes, ma'am.
with 3 it will be transitive as, right? 3 to 15, 15 to 45. And 5 also, from 5 also it will be transitive as. So we can draw over here 45. This is your 9. 9 is related to 45. 3 is related to 45, that is transitive as. So no need to draw. 15 to yes. This is the Hayes diagram. Everyone got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me maximal elements. Maximal element.
15, 24.
Yes, 24 and
15.
15. This one.
No. Above 15. That one. 45.
45. This one. These are maximal. Why these are maximal? There is no other element to which these are related, right? That's why these are maximal.
Yes, ma'am.
Minimal,
3 and
3
5.
and 5.
And
minimal will be 3 and 5. There is no other element present such that which is related to 3 as well as 5, right? That's why the term is minimal. What about greatest? Does there exist any greatest or
45.
least? Is it? What is the definition of greatest?
No, ma'am. There is no greatest.
No, not present.
Whole element of S should relate to that element. That will become greatest. But here, 24 is not related to 45. So, does that exist?
No, ma'am.
That does not exist. Right? What about least element?
No least element.
No least element. There does not exist any element which is related to all the element of S. Right? So, there does not exist least element as well. Now find all the upper bound of 3, 5. All upper bound of 3, 5. So you can consider 3 and 5 and find the upper bound of 3, 5.
Yes. 15 and 45.
15 and 45.
Upper bound of A, the set A is 3 and 5. So only 45 or what?
15 and
And
45.
15.
15 and 45. Are you sure? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, what about 9? Why not 9?
No, ma'am.
Why?
9 doesn't relate it to 5.
To 5.
5 does not relate to 9.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the upper bound. And what about least upper bound?
15.
Least upper bound will be 15. And what about lower bounds of this set? Yes, lower bounds of this set.
No lower bound.
No lower bound exists. There does not exist any lower bound. That's why there does not exist any greatest lower bound, right? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now look at this 15 and 45. Consider 15 and 45. Find the lower bounds of 15 and 45.
3 and 5.
5. 3, 5 and 15.
3, 5, 15. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
3 is related to 45 via this transitive S. 5 is also related to 45. 15 is also related to 15 as well as 45. So these are
Yes, ma'am.
lower bound. What about greatest lower bound?
15.
Yes. Greatest lower bound of this set. Tell me. Greatest lower bound of this set, if exist. Am I audible? Am I audible?
15.
15. Yes. 15 will be the greatest because all other lower bound 3 and 5 are related to this one, 15. That's why greatest lower bound will be 15. Any other doubt you want to ask? Okay, let me give you one thing. Upper bound of this set?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am,
Yes, bolo.
ma'am, can you explain again the concept of greatest lower bound and
Greatest
and
lower bound. First, it should be a lower bound of A. Okay. The subset A. So 15 is lower bound of this set. 5 is lower bound of this set. 3 is lower bound of this set, right? And with other lower bound, it should be the greatest. That means other lower bound should be related to this. Clear? If all other lower bound, which should be present below level to this one. Got it? Greatest lower bound.
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
And least upper bound will be first it should be upper bound, and the next condition is it should be least of all other upper bounds. That means it should relate to all other upper bound if exist. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me, what about 9, 24? 9, 15 and 24, if you consider this set, lower bounds and upper bounds of this set.
Ma'am, 9, 15 and
24. Twenty-four. Find the upper bound, lower bound, greatest lower bound, and least upper bound.
lower bound is 3.
Lower bound is 3. Yes. Greatest lower bound,
Ma'am, 3.
3 only. Right. Upper bound,
No upper bound.
no upper bound. Why?
There is no element which is related to uh, 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 means and there is no element to which these three elements are related.
Yes. To which these three elements are related, or you can just say which is related from these elements, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there exists GLB but not exist LUB. What about if I take 9 and 15 only? Yes.
Ma'am, can you repeat your question?
If you take A set as 9 and 15, lower bound, greatest lower bound, and upper bound, least upper bound.
Ma'am, lower bound is 3.
Lower bound is 3, okay. Greatest lower bound is again 3.
Ma'am, upper bound is 45.
Upper bound is 45. Yes. And least upper bound,
Again 45.
again 45. So I hope all of you got this question and you are clear about all those 8 definitions. If you have any doubt, then tell me. Right now I'm clear. Yes? What about the upper bound of 3? If you consider only 3.
Ma'am, 24, 3, 9, 15, 45.
So except 5, everything else, right? 3 is there, 24 is there, 9 is there, 15 is there, 45 is there. So all are becoming upper bound. Least upper bound,
Ma'am, no least upper bound.
no least upper bound, right? No least upper bound, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
What about 3? What about 3?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 3, 3. It will be 3.
Isn't it? 3 is working as least upper bound as well as greatest lower bound, right? Any other doubt?
No, ma'am.
From Hayes diagram, drawing the Hayes diagram, any doubt? Yes? No doubt?
No, ma'am.
Then we did maximality, minimality, upper bound, greatest lower bound just discussed. Greatest element, least element, maximal and minimal. How to draw the Hayes diagram and partial order definition. So let's revise chapter 6 again. If you have any specific doubt in chapter 6, you can tell me. I'll clear that and then proceed. Yes? Yeah, we are left with 2 more classes. One is on Friday and one on Saturday. What do you want me to do? Which chapter on Friday? Tell me.
Ma'am, 3, 4.
3, 4. 5 today only we can revise.
Okay, ma'am.
3, 4 on Friday, and 1, 2, and whatever 5, if it completes today, then it's okay. Otherwise, 5, the remaining part, we'll be discussing on Saturday. Okay?
Ma'am, but physics sir was telling that classes are there up till Friday only. Saturday no
Till
class.
Friday only.
Yes, 12, something like that he was telling.
I'm not aware. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, we will complete this revision till Friday only. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 on Friday. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And 5 today only. Yeah. First we discuss about relations from A to B on A. Then we counted how many relations exist with on a set with n number of elements. That will be relation is just subset of this A cross A. Na? How many relations exist on A cross B? That is coming from the power set of this one. Relation is just subset, na? And the power set contains all the subsets. So power set, whatever power set, that will be consisting of number of relations, right? Cardinality of power set of this A cross B. So if m number of elements are there in A, n number of elements are there in B, then m into n will be in A cross B. And in power set cardinality will be 2 raised to power m into n, right? So there will be 2 to the power m into n number of different relation exist on between A and B. Okay. And if it is on A and A, then it will be 2 to the power n into n, 2 to the power n square. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Out of this 2 to the power n square, n into n, how many reflexive relation? Reflexivity is for all A comma A should be present in the relation. That is A is related to A. Okay. So how many reflexive out of this one? Reflexive pair, how many? If A has n element, A1, A2, and so on, An, then A1, A1, A2, A2, A3, A3, and so on up to An. N number of reflexive pairs should be present, right? For this relation to be reflexive, the necessary condition is n number of pairs should be there. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, 2 to the
So
power n.
total number from where we can select the other subsets. For other subset, remaining number of elements are n square minus n. These gone. These have to be present everywhere. Must condition. So how many subset exist with the cardinality this set? Power set of his set with cardinality this one. 2 to the power n square minus n. Right? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Reflexive relation done. Then symmetric done. If A or B, A is related to B, B is related to A. Yeah, how many symmetric relations will be there? Total number of relations are to the power n square. Out of this one, how many symmetric relations? Yes, have you thought about that? Yes. See, if AB is present, then B should be present, right?
Yes, ma'am.
B comma A should be present. So means whenever AB is present, the other counterpart is how to be present, right? And for A not equal to B, right? And for A equal to B, we have same pairs, right? A equal to B, A,
Yes, ma'am.
we can select from A, right? So those are n pairs. For others, how many pairs? N square minus n, right? A comma A, these are n pairs. And others are this one plus this one. How many number of pairs? N square minus n. So out of that, half are this one, this, and half this one, right? And these are, we don't have choice on this one, right? If we have A comma B, then we have to have B comma A, right? This must be present. So means we can only play with n half element, right? N square minus n by 2. Clear? And plus n, plus this number of this. That is, we can select from this one and we can select from this one, right? So if AB is there, BA have to be present. So what is this? N square plus n by 2. Clear? You take LCM 2, then it will be n square minus n plus 2n. So n square plus n by 2. Yes? So you are now left with a set. The choices are from n square plus n by 2 number of element. So you can have 2 to the power n square plus n divided by 2 number of relation, and these will be symmetric. Clear? Is there any doubt? Yes. Or in case of a matrix also, you can just say these relation we can choose from diagonals, right? This one, this one, this one, this one, right? And diagonals are there. And if A comma B is present, B comma A have to be present. So this means this is depending on this one. So free choice are how many? Free choice are how many? This number of elements, right? This matrix is n cross n matrix, right? Okay, if we are taking all the pair as A present on diagonal, A comma B present over here, then B comma A will be present over here, right? So how many choices are, how many number of free choices we have? Yes? See, total n square. Out of n square we have n choices this one and n square minus n divided by 2, this one, right? So total number of free choices are this one, right? And we can obviously have the number of, that is total number of free choices are this one, right? We can have power set of this cardinality of power set with this number of element will be 2 to the power, this is what? N square plus n by 2. Are you getting up or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this one number of symmetric relation. Then we discuss about transitive relation, anti-symmetric as well. Anti-symmetric. Okay, if AB is there, B is not be there for not equality. Okay, and if both pairs are there present, only if A is equal to B. That means only reflexive pairs can be present. Otherwise, symmetric pair for not equality is should not be present, right? Transitivity AB, BC, then AC. Reflexive, how many reflexive relation that we have done? There are this much number of reflexive relation, right? 2 to the power n square minus n. Then as relation is set, so we can take the set operations. Composition also we can define. We did this theorem. We define the relations. Define inverse and complement. If R is from A to B, inverse will be from B to A, and complement is from A to B only. Then we discuss about representing the relation using matrices. Whenever AI is related to be J, the AI Mij will be 1, otherwise 0. So it is reflexive if your Diagonal elements are 1, otherwise not, right? And MR will be symmetric whenever MJI is 1, means whenever you have MIJ is 1, means symmetric matrix. So if this is 0, when IJ is 0. So Mij is equal to Mji, means the matrix should be symmetric. If you take the transpose, that should be equal to the matrix itself. In case of anti-symmetricity, either of these cases should be there. For not equality, either A is not related or B is not related. That means either IJth is not related or JIth is not related. Then we discuss about join and meet. These are related, or matrix representing corresponding to union, join, corresponding to intersection, meet, and corresponding to S composition R, you have Boolean product MR. This right hand side is taken here, MS. Clear? Obviously, if n times Boolean product of this n times composition will be n times Boolean product of MR, right? Star will be 2 times Boolean product. Then we counted number of ones. Number of non-zero means number of ones for these relations, right? And we discuss about some matrices corresponding to R inverse, R complement, R square, and some more matrices. Equivalence relation, reflexive, symmetric, transitive, and partial order was anti-symmetric in case of symmetricity, right? And if equivalence relation, then two elements are said to be equivalent. Also, these are denoted by this one. Congruence modulo M, we discussed that this becomes the equivalence relation. This divides does not become because of anti-symmetricity. This is divides is partial order. Okay. And what about other partial order? Less than equal to or greater than equal to. Right? And equivalence relation, the simple example is congruence modulo M. And also equality relation becomes the equivalence relation. And if you collect all the elements related to some element of A, that will become that set will become the equivalence class of A. Okay, denoted by this one. And equivalence class, that means all those elements which are related to A, to which A is related or which are related to A. And if two elements are related, their equivalence classes will be same, otherwise disjoint. Okay, equivalence class of 0 and 1 under modulo 4, that will be 4k type, 4k plus 1. For 2, it is 4k plus 2 type. For 3, it is 4k plus 3 type. For 4, it is again equal to 0, equivalence class of 0. Because 0 and 4 are related, that's why equivalence class will be identical. So equivalence class are either identical, either equal, or disjoint. If A is not related to B, their equivalence classes will be disjoint. That is, there is nothing common. Intersection will be 5. And equivalence class, these are the subsets of A on set A, right? So these forms the partitioning definition. These are non-empty, obviously, because of reflexivity, that element is present, non-empty. Two different equivalence classes are intersection of two different equivalence classes are 5. And if you take union, you are getting back to that set. So R is an equivalence relation, then equivalence classes forms the partition of S. And conversely, into any partition, you have there exists equivalence relation such that partition becomes the equivalence class. Okay, and we discuss about equivalence classes of congruence modulo 4. Also, equivalence classes we had calculated corresponding to modulo 6 and modulo 5 for n is equal to this one. Then it was partial order. Any doubt? Yes? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, from chapter 5. Two basic counting rules we discussed, product rule and sum rule. According to product rule, if some task is given done in n1 ways and n2 ways, or you can just say in two subtasks T1 and T2, and T1 can be done in n1 ways, and relating to each of this one there are n2 ways of doing the task second. Okay, then total number of ways to do that task will be corresponding to 1 and 2, corresponding to second and 2 and n2 and so on. If you add it, that will be n1 into n2 product. So that end is very important over here. And here some task for some relatives, some task is completed into either T1 way, that is either N1 ways or N2 ways, nothing common between them. Then it is sum N1 plus N2 added. And if something is common, you will subtract that. First N1 plus N2, then you will subtract it. Discuss about the number of functions, some examples. 1 functions. Sum rule, if nothing is common, then N1 plus N2. If something is common, then inclusion, by using inclusion exclusion principle, you will exclude the common part. Okay. Then we discuss this one. We counted the number of first integer between this one that are satisfying these properties. Here, sum rule as well as product rules use same here. Either or will be sum. And we discuss about pigeonhole principle. If you put k plus 1 number of objects into k boxes, then there will be at least one box containing at least 2 objects. Or in general, if n objects to be placed in k boxes, then there is at least one box containing n by k ceiling function. Okay, number of objects. So if you put k is equal to k plus 1, so that will be obviously ceiling function. Ceiling function will give you 2. So at least one box containing at least 2 objects. Then we discuss some questions based on that. Then permutation combination. Whenever no repetition of object is there, then R permutation is, that is ordered arrangement of R element out of n. This is given by this formula. And combination, when order doesn't matter, just selecting the elements, R element out of n, that will be given by C and R. So what is this C and R? En by R factorial, n factorial, n minus R factorial, and R factorial. Whenever arrangement matters, order matters, you will always look for ENR, that is permutation. And if selection matters, order doesn't matter, you will always look for CNR. Any doubt? Then we did binomial coefficient, binomial theorem, binomial expansion x plus y to the power n. You can expand like this, nc0, this is same as equal to nc0, nc1, x to the power n minus 1 y to the power n, nc2, x to the power n minus 2 y to the power 2. That means sum of powers of x and y will be n always, and so on, ncn, x to the power 0, y to the power n. So this will be, here j is, this is changing just, n is fixed, this is changing, and powers are changing. So how these are changing? By this one, ncj, we put in summation, it will be x to the power n minus j, and whatever we are subtracting, that is in y to the power, so y to the power j. So you can expand any, for any n, okay? If you put x and y are 1, you get this expression. If you put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to minus 1, you get this expression. And for specific coefficient, for particular coefficient x to the power 5, y to the power 8 means y to the power j now. So y to the power j means 13c8. So 13c8 will be given by this one. So in this one, if you put j is equal to 8, you are getting x to the power 5 and y to the power 8. its coefficient will be 13 Cj.
Ma'am, repeat this question.
This one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here we want coefficient of x to the power 5, y to the power 8, right? So in this term, the binomial expansion for this one is this one, right? J is running from 0 to 13, 0 to n, ncj, 13 cj, x to the power 13 minus j, y to the power j. Now, for which we want coefficient here, what should I put in place of j such that I am getting x to the power 5, y to the power 8? Yeah, what should I put?
8.
J is equal to 8, right? So corresponding to j is equal to 8, what is the coefficient? This is the coefficient of NCJ.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
corresponding to 8, you are getting 13C8. So 13 in this summation, 13C8 into we will be having x to the power 5, y to the power 8. Here some summation, here summation. So what is the coefficient of x to the power 5, y to the power 8? This one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Same goes for this one. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's it. Then we had generalized permutation and combination. General means repetition is allowed. And the R permutation, when repetition is allowed, means n into n into n into and so on R times. Okay, you have n choices for this one, n choices for second place, and so on at rth place. So it will be n to the power r. Repetition is allowed. So P and R, when repetition is allowed, R permutation is given by n to the power n, R. R combination, when repetition is allowed, it is given by n plus R minus 1 CR. Okay. So whenever repetition is possible, you can always use this n plus 1, n plus R minus 1 CR. In this, finding the solution, number of solution, how many solution where xi's are non-negative integers starting with 0 exist, then also you can use this formula. That is, you want combination is 8, that is 11. So this is your R combination unit, such that on combining 3 different types, right? First type, second type, third type, and combination unit 11. So R here xi, I is running from n different type, you can just say 1 to n. Then number of selecting these x1, x2, x3 will be given by R combination when out of n element, when repetition is allowed. Obviously, xi's can repeat the value. For example, 0, 0, and 11. Here, 0, 11, 0. This is 0, 0 repeats, right? So like that, it
Yes,
will
ma'am.
be given by n plus R minus 1 CR. Okay? That will give you number of solutions to this equation. Okay? And number of how many different strings you can form by reordering the letters of this type. That means how many different permutation. Means to say, whenever you have same number of letters are there, they will, if you permute them, this as or this as or this, or this as if you swap with this one, that will give
Ma'am,
you the
here
same.
repetition is allowed.
No, repetition is not allowed here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So anyways, n to the power r means p, and yeah, repetition is not allowed here. How many different permutation, number of permutation. Okay. That is, if n elements are there, obviously npn will be there, right? Npn is given by n factorial. But here we have we have this thing, that is some letters or some objects are of same type. Okay, n1 of type 1, n2 of type 2, and k of type 3. Then it will be divided by n1 factorial, n2 factorial, and nk factorial.
Ma'am, but
Clear?
here the S is repeating, so how?
S is repeated. That's why 3 factorial it will be dividing. That means total number
Okay,
of
ma'am.
words. How can total number of different total number of permutation? How many we can form by using this 7 letters? 7 factorial, right? We can
Yes, ma'am.
permute these letters in 7 factorial way. But these S 3S will give you same. If you permute these 3S and these 3S, you can permute in how many ways? 3 factorial ways. That's why divided by. And 2C also. That's why again divided by 2 factorial. Yeah, that
Okay,
will be
ma'am.
answer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is again your xi. I will be 10 indistinguishable balls in 8 different ways. So if you are just considering x1, x2, and x8, number of balls are going to these bins, then total you need 10. Total sum is you need 10. So from here, 10 combination when n is 8. So that is given by the sum. Here repetition is allowed. So very, very easy. Selection just this one. Repetition is allowed. Selection, and here also repetition will be allowed. But here it is given that at least one of each kind. Means to say, here it will be, you will be choosing at least one of each kind, and there are 8 different types. Okay, so 8C8 you can form, you can select in out of 8. Okay, you can select 8 different days out of 8 in 8C8 way. And you need to also select 4, and that 4 you need dozen na? So 8 out of 8 can be selected in one way only. Into these 4 you can repeat. So 4 you can repeat means total number of 4 combination out of 8. So that can be given as 4 plus 8, that is 8 plus 4 minus 1 C4. Okay, that is 11 C4. So that will be 330. Okay. I hope you got it.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
can you say
then-
the last bit again?
Last bit again. See here, we want a dozen bagel. We want to choose a dozen bagel with at least one of each kind. So these are 8 different kinds. So out of 8 different, and you want to choose at least one of each kind, means one should be present. At least one should be present, right? So means out of 8, if we select 8 out of 8, and one should be from here, one should be from here, one should be from here, one should be from, that is only one and one, only one way, right? Only one way we can choose.
Yes, ma'am.
So 8C8 you can say, or you can just say one way. There is only one way to choose one out of these 8, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So 8 from here, and 4, a dozen is 12 is equal to 8 plus 4, no? So
Yes, ma'am.
8 from 8, it is one way, and you need 4 as well. So that's why multiplied, and these 4 you can repeat, because at least one condition is already fulfilled by this choosing this 8, right? So these 4 you can repeat, and repeat when repetition is allowed, 4 combination will be given by 11C4. So here
Now, why
your
there is
chapter,
a -1?
no, there is no -1. Where?
I'm at the right.
This
You-
one?
Yes, ma'am.
Because 4, in these 4 we want 4 combination now with repetition allowed. These 4 we can only take this poppy seed bagel, or only we can take onion bagel, or we can take different, right? Or we can take 2 of this one, 2 of this one, right? That means we can
Yes, ma'am.
repeat these. That's why 4 combination when repetition is allowed out of 8 elements. That is 8 plus 4 minus n plus r minus 1 CR. So C4. This is what? 11C4.
Okay, ma'am.
Clear? So that's
Yes,
all
ma'am.
about your chapter 5 and prepare for all chapters. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks all. I stop here.
Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, I will not take too much of time of yours. Okay, as this one is the extra class, we will discuss one of the few important questions. Okay, so let me start. An array, what we have covered till now. In array, we have discussed the reverse of an element, reverse of the array element.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we are going to discuss the linear search technique. How we will search an element in a given array. So let me share the screen first.